Hmm? What do you mean? I mean, that's all we got. Good afternoon. Before we start, I don't know how many of you know this, but Ron Stevens' daughter, Ashlyn, has been in ICU for the last couple of days. And Kathy just told me that they have taken her off of life support and she's breathing on her own. So that's good news. So it's always nice to start out on a pleasant note. Now let's hear from the senators. Senator Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Just have one bill to tell you about, SB 97, third from the top on modified open rule. This is a bill that sets a ceiling on late payment charges for the self-storage industry. It's designed to prevent litigation over an issue like that and to allow these fees to be collected.
You have no questions.
Thank you.
Senator Kirk.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's good to be with you today. I bring to you Senate Bill 184. This is a bill that will allow participants of the state health employee benefit plan to use a federally qualified health care center as their primary care physician, and it will open up access a lot more across the state to people who are part of the health state benefit plan. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certainly agree with the intentions of the bill. I just wanted to ask a couple questions. Are they prohibited by law from doing that today?
Yes, federally qualified health care centers cannot act as a primary care physician, to my knowledge at this point, under the plan, but this will allow that through the plan.
Okay. So it's really direction for the state health benefit plan?
That's correct, yes.
Or do we have any concern that this would raise rates for the insureds under the state health benefit plan?
No, none at all. That has not been an issue. In fact, I think it's going to, we actually set the rate at the same as the Medicare reimbursement rate. And Pfizer has a special, Kaiser, I'm sorry, I do that every time, has a special contract with the state for, I think it's 32 counties that they serve, and in that program, it'll actually be cheaper for them if participants use the FQHC than go to a primary care physician, or use their own physicians, as is in their plan.
Thank you. On lines 26 and 27, it says it shall not apply to any licensed group model health maintenance organization with an exclusive medical contract. Who would we be talking about there?
Kaiser.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Those are just questions I had. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Chairman Cooper.
Senator, is it not true that one of our highest cost levels is especially for our school systems with the bus drivers and the cafeteria workers and all? They seem to have a large number of health problems like hypertension and diabetes.
And that is correct, Chairman.
And that by using the federally qualified health programs, they have a better track record than many of our other insurers on producing long-term positive effects and outcomes with these patients.
And that is true, Madam Chair. In fact, the federally qualified healthcare centers do wraparound services in case management, and they also have access to lower cost pharmaceutical drugs, which would help with that population that has the hypertension and the diabetes and so forth.
Thank you for bringing the bill.
Thank you.
Representative Beverly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Does the gentleman yield?
Certainly.
What are the fees and the reimbursement structure currently? You're going to change it to the Medicare reimbursement rates. What are they currently tied to?
What are the fees currently tied to? Medicare sets their rates, and so you look at what the Medicare rates are, and so Medicare rate for your primary care physician, that's the rate we'd be looking at.
Okay. So does this new rate consider an increase or a decrease in what they're currently getting?
Again, in that one incident I told you about, it's a decrease. So I don't think there's no pushback from anyone. Everyone's on board with this, the doctors, the hospitals, everyone across the board. I haven't gotten any pushback at all. I don't see this as an increase at all. In fact, I think it's going to save money, as the chair lady pointed out a while ago, in the long run, especially in those chronic cases of diabetes, hypertension, and so forth.
Mr. Hawkins.
Isn't it true that a lot of the FQHCs are in the rural areas?
This is true. They actually have facilities all over the state, though. There's one not too far from the capital here, but they pretty much cover the entire state. Right. And that's what I've said about this all along, is that they will open up more doors for access to health care, especially in the rural areas. Yeah.
Thank you for the bill.
Thank you.
Chairman Martin.
Thank you. Chairman Yule, for a
I certainly
question.
will. Yeah. Just remember, you got a bill in my committee too, but go ahead.
I'm not mentioning to the senator that's very important to the city of Emerson. I represent the city of Alpharetta.
Okay.
Trying to help some colleagues. Now, friendly questions. I don't know a lot about health insurance, except I'm glad to be covered by one.
Yeah.
I guess on line 24 it says the rate shall be no less than the applicable maximum. No less than a maximum. Are we taking anybody's ability? Are we taking our state plan's ability to negotiate away? And that's something. If you don't have the answer to that, I can get with you offline. When I see maximum and negotiated rates, it wonders. So for later. And then on 26 and 27, again, not familiar with this, but why is that exclusion? For what purpose is that? If this is a good thing, can you tell me why we have that exclusion? Just help me understand that. Again, I'm sure that there's a good reason for it. I just don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll apologize. I printed off the wrong bill and got the wrong bill with me, so I don't have the language in front of me. So I apologize for that. I know that the first question that you asked about dealt with the contracts going forward, that the state health benefit plan would include this in their contracts. And that maximum the maximum rate would be the Medicare rate, is what that maximum would be. Thank you all. And your second question was on lines what?
26 and 27 is what the gentleman had asked earlier about. This would not apply to any licensed group model health maintenance organization with an exclusive contract.
Yeah. Kaiser Permanente has a exclusive contract with the state health benefit plan that covers, I think it's 32 counties, mostly in the metro area. They have a special plan where all their docs work for them, and it was their analysis of this bill in committee that it would actually be cheaper for them to pay federally qualified health center than to pay their own docs in this plan. But that language was added just so we could exclude them going forward.
Okay, I'll get with you offline.
Yeah, get with me on that. I'll be glad to explain it to you.
Chairman Hatchett. No? Chairman Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, is it not true that most of the federally qualified health plans are outside the range of where Kaiser covers in the metro area? We have a few in the metro area.
That's correct, yes.
But
most
out of the 225 locations that we have across the state, in fact, we cover all but 35 counties.
Right.
With the federally qualified health plans. That I would bet that probably there would be no more than 20 locations or 25 locations within the metro area that Kaiser would cover.
Yeah, and again, they did not see this as an issue for their contract at all, or to cause any conflict with them at all. And the good thing about this is also, many of these federally qualified health centers Also have mental health services. Anything that they offer will be offered to that participant in the state health benefit plan. So we think this is going to be a great accommodation and opening up, especially in the rural areas of the state. Especially in Camilla, Georgia. Down in Camilla, Georgia, y'all might have heard of that. It'll be a great place that participants can choose that to be their primary care physician. Mr. Chair, are there any other questions?
You have no more questions.
Okay.
Senator Walker.
Good afternoon. I bring you Senate Bill 121 per the request of the Attorney General Chris Carr. We have a prescription drug monitoring program that pharmacies and physicians subscribe to and put their prescriptions into that system. We have a number of law enforcement agencies that have access to that system. However, the Attorney General's Medicaid Fraud Unit does not have administrative subpoena access to the system, and they want to be included. We have a responsibility as a Medicaid state to ensure the integrity of our Medicaid system and the responsibility to have a Medicaid fraud unit, and they need access to the database to investigate Medicaid fraud cases involving prescription drugs. It also extends the record retention period from 2 years to 5 years. I'd be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Chairman.
You have no questions.
Thank you.
Members. Chairman Smith.
Senate Bill 132 and Senate Bill 133 are the final two pieces of legislation to rewrite and modernize the insurance code.
Chairman Taylor.
I'd like to put my name beside Senate Bill 118 and 184.
Representative Hughley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to put my name beside Senate Bill 1, CJ's Law.
What was the second one?
Senate Bill 1.
Okay. Representative Bodie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Under modified open rule, I would like to put my name beside HR 72, and also I would like to put my name by Senate Bill 1 under modified structure rule.
Okay, let's set a calendar. We don't have a whole lot to choose from, but we've got committees that are meeting today and tomorrow. So my guess would be, as we're setting a calendar for Thursday, but my guess would be is that when we meet on Thursday, we will set a supplemental calendar for Thursday as well as the calendar for Friday. HR 368 under modified open rule. It's on. Under modified open rule, SB 97. It's on. Modified open rule, SB 132.
Move.
It's on. Modified open rule, SB 133.
Move.
It's on. Modified structured rule, SB 17.
Move.
It's on. Modified structure rule, SB 55. It's on. Modified structure rule, SB 121. It's on. And that's the calendar. We're adjourned.